All right. Need a motion to accept the minutes of the May 13th regular town board meeting.
Thank you.
Motion.
Motion by Scott, second.
Second.
Dave, all in favor? Aye. A motion to accept the minutes of the May 31st joint workshop with the Village of Jeffersonville.
Motion.
Howard, second.
Second.
Dave, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Statement of supervisor for May of 2013, General A Fund. General A Fund had beginning balance of $105,327.80. Total received $262,098.97. Total dispersed $53,169.70. And an ending balance of $314,257.07. Savings combined for the general A are presently at $339,497.38. General B had a beginning balance of $44,077.52. Total received was $101.89. Total dispersed was $5,555.74, leaving an ending balance $38,623.67. And savings for the general B is at $44,198.92. Highway DB had a beginning balance of $88,286.04. Total received was $200,181.86. Total dispersed was $57,714.46. Ending balance of $230,753.44. Savings for the Highway DB presently at $245,323.39. The Highway DA a beginning balance of $99,216.62. Total received $300,272.78. Total dispersed $48,057.26, leaving an ending balance $351,432.14. Savings for the Highway DA is at $402,905.41. Youngsville Water District beginning balance was $3,946.73. Total received $2,971.30. Total dispersed $1,733.85, leaving an ending balance of $5,184.18. Savings for the Youngsville Water District is at $21,396.75. Any motion to accept supervisor's report?
Motion.
That's by Scott, a second by Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Janet, Town Clerk and Code Enforcement report, please.
I paid the supervisor $1,974.19. I paid the DEC $732.81. I paid the New York State Animal Population Control $32. New York State Health Department for marriage licenses $22.50 for a total of $2,761.50. And I received $770 from the code enforcement.
Okay, motion to accept Town Clerk and Code Enforcement Officer's report.
Motion.
Howard, second.
Second.
Dave, all in favor?
Aye.
Janet, if you could audit the bills.
General A fund vouchers number 160 to 183, $43,074.42. Also received a bill from NYSEC for $779.19 and $18.42. Bill from Double Clean for $425 and Jeff Sanitation $161. General B fund vouchers number 17 to 91, $4,827.40. Another bill from Catskill, Delaware for $20.39. Highway DA fund vouchers number 67 to 76, $45,011.55. Another bill from Deckerman for $577.16 for sand and $2,630 for a rental. Highway DB fund vouchers number 10 and 11, $79,384.52. Another bill from Bedrock for $4,235.05. And the Youngsville Water District vouchers number 20 to 22, $386.44.
Motion to pay the bills.
Motion.
Second.
Second, Steve, and second by Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Warrants, May payroll check number 21257 to number 21274, and the direct deposits in the amount of $79.14. Need a motion?
Motion.
Howard, a second.
Second.
By Scott, all in favor?
Aye.
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 May Trust and Agency check number 4896 to number 4903, any electronic transfers in the amount of $91,391.72. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Dave, motion, and Howard, second.
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right, Chris, you're on. Highway Superintendent report.
Okay, well, we finished the paving on Stump Pond, except for some driveway aprons and stuff we still have to do, but we paved 1.8 miles from the county road, Chandley Road up to past Yuan Road, past Dietz Road, and to the top of the hill there, so we've only got a small little piece left on the flats for the coming years, because we still gotta do at least a mile on Huber Road this year, up in Chandley, and 28, but it came out pretty good and looks good. We gotta seal it yet, and we're gonna seal about 4 miles of road on the Friday the 28th of June. Just get it scheduled for now if we don't get rain. And we got another one of our bridges starting to go bad. We replaced the one in Anawanda Lake last year at the Gulf Road and Anawanda Lake intersection, but now we've got one going bad in Buckbrook, on Buckbrook Road at the intersection of Kinney and Fire in Buckbrook. So we put a plate on it, and the county, Bob Trotta and another engineer from the county were nice enough to come out and give us an inspection of it, and I put a steel plate on it for now, and probably gonna have to patch it for this year, and then maybe budget that for next year. This one is a smaller span. The Anawanda Lake is almost 19 feet, and of course anything less than 20 belongs to us, but this one's only about 12 or 13 feet span. So they gave me a couple of ideas of either doing a wood deck or another steel and concrete deck, and this one is another one from the 30s, the Jack Arch style that was there since the 30s. So we got a lot of life out of it, but it's starting to crumble, and you can see through it and down to the brook. So so we plated it, and we'll see. We might have to do a little bit of concrete work there to make it through this year, so we can take the plate back off before we start plowing.
Yep.
And then because that steel plate's just laying on the surface, and hopefully we'll get it in the budget and try and put a new deck on that and rails for next year. Hopefully it'll hold. So they were nice enough to come out and inspect it for us and give me their input. So that's got it for now. The excavator rental there from Deckerman was for our brook work over in Youngsville. We'll have to do its Flats Bridge to try and keep that. We got as much as we could reach with chains and ropes and without getting in the water. So that's about it for now.
Okay. Anybody have anything for Chris? Howard?
No.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Code enforcement, Kevin?
We're pretty busy, quite a few permits going out. The junkyard in Youngsville is in the courts. I guess he has a deadline of next week to start moving vehicles out, and then a fine begins. The place in Callicoon Center is gonna be in the courts. I'm serving summons on them. They haven't done anything this month. Right, that route.
Okay, yeah.
That's about it.
So keep on them, please, and get them cleaned up one way or another. Greg? Yeah, that's it. Anybody have anything for code enforcement?
No.
Okay. This time, as usual, we'll open up our floor for public comment on any items that are listed on our agenda. If there isn't any, we'll go right on to those business items. Okay. First on our list of agenda items is our insurance proposal. Do you have that copy with you?
No.
Okay. We had David Bodenstein in last month, as you all know, and gave us a good representation of our coverage for the year 2013, 2014 with his proposal. I did review it. Chris has reviewed it with David. You did have it. Okay, thank you. We've been very pleased with our coverage provided by NYMER that Mike Price does represent as the agent for. So I'm asking the board for approval of this contract again with Mike Price for NYMER coverage. And this including our bond was $34,906.20. We've had annual reduction, or not reductions, but rebates for previous 5 years. We'll no longer receive that from our initial investment into Nymere. However, we feel that we've been well provided for with their services, and next year we probably will be looking for proposals from some other ones as well to just again compare. But with what we've got from Nymere, I feel we've been very adequately covered, and would ask for the board's recommendation. Okay, so we need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Howard, in a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, John. Okay, the next is a simple resolution from our Secretary of State of New York. What this means is if some party were to bring an action alleging property damage or bodily injury against the town or a municipality for that matter, they now have another alternative to file suit with the Secretary of State. There is a guideline, a time frame when they have to file. Also, they charge a fee now, and half of that fee will go to the municipality. But the Secretary of State requires the municipality to designate an agent from the town to be the receiver of that notice of claim. So this, I'll read it, it's short, simple. This will designate the town clerk's office as the receiver of the notice of claim from the Secretary of State. Whereas General Municipal Law 53 requires towns to file a certificate with the Secretary of State designating the Secretary of State as an agent for service of a notice of claim, and whereas General Municipal Law 53 requires the certificate to include the applicable time limit for filing the notice of claim and the name, post office address, and electronic mail address, if available, of an officer, person, for the transmittal of notices of claim served upon the Secretary as the town's agent. And whereas pursuant to General Municipal Law 50-E, Section 1, Paragraph A, the applicable time limit for the filing of a notice of claim upon a town is 90 days after the claim arises, or in the case of a wrongful death action, 90 days from the appointment of a representative of the decedent's estate. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Callicoon, county of Sullivan, designates Janet Brom, please, thank you, designates Janet Brom in her capacity as town clerk to receive notices of claims served upon the Secretary of State by mail at P.O. Box 687, Jeffersonville 12748, and the email address at toctownclerk@hvc.rr.com. Be it further resolved that the town board hereby directs the town clerk to file this required certificate with the Secretary of State, informing him or her of the town's designation and applicable time limitation for filing a notice of claim with the town on or before July 14, 2013. So if you have any questions on that, I know it's just another resolution, but required upon us by the Secretary of State, so I need a motion.
Motion.
Scott, second is Dave, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Janet, we'll file that as required. And the joint activity, this is something we've done for, I don't know how many years now, but a number of them, and actually there's still some summer basketball camp flyers up here. If you're interested, take some, post them in your offices or wherever if you can. This is quite long, so we'll read through it. Intermunicipal agreement by and between the town of Callicoon, a municipal corporation of the state of New York with offices at 19 Legion Street, Jeffersonville, New York, hereinafter referred to as the town. The Sullivan West Central School District, a school district with offices at Jeffersonville, New York, hereinafter referred to as the school district. And the Village of Jeffersonville, a municipal corporation of the state of New York with offices at 17 Center Street, hereinafter referred to as the village. Whereas the town, the school district, and the village have heretofore jointly conducted a youth program and desire to continue such program in the future. And whereas pursuant to the provisions of Article 5-G of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York, the town, the school district, and the village are authorized to enter into the agreement described herein, and whereas the town, the school district, and the village, acting pursuant to section 119 of the general municipal law, agree that it is in their mutual best interest to jointly conduct a youth program available to all children who reside within the town, the school district, and the village, and whereas it is necessary for the respective parties' obligations to be set forth in an intermunicipal agreement hereinafter referred to as an agreement. Now therefore, in furtherance of the mutual interest and in consideration of the mutual covenants herein contained in compliance with the terms and conditions herein specified, the parties make acknowledgments and promises as follows. Number one, the town shall be responsible for the administration of the youth program, hereinafter the program, including the appointment of the advisory board, the size and membership of which shall be determined by the town board of the town, the members of which shall be residents of any of the municipalities named above. The town shall be responsible for the audit and payment of all bills and expenses and other fiscal affairs of the program, including the approval and final authorization of the program budget. Number three, all employees in the program shall be solely the employees of the town. The school district and village shall have no responsibility whatsoever regarding payment of wages, benefits, FICA, workers' comp, disability insurance, retirement system payments, and any other costs of employment. The town shall authorize in their budget the sum of $3,750 as its annual contribution to the program. Said sum may be increased from time to time at the discretion of the Town of Callicoon Town Board. The village shall authorize in their annual budget the sum of $750 as its annual contribution to the program to be paid to the town on or before May 31st of each year. Said sum may be increased from time to time at the discretion of the Board of Trustees of the village. The program shall be entitled to use the facilities of the school district pursuant to a schedule to be approved by the school district so as not to conflict with school district purposes, events, and activities, and other regularly scheduled events. It is expressly agreed and understood that the school district shall have first priority for use of the school district's facilities and sole discretion over the use of its facilities. It is further agreed and understood that the program shall be allowed the use of school district facilities free of all charges up to a maximum cost to the district of $1,500.00 per school fiscal year, July 1 through June 30th. The school district's cost in support of the program, including but not necessarily limited to custodial overtime, will be reported to the school district to the program administrator when such costs reach $1,000, thus allowing the program administrator a timely opportunity to make adjustments in facility usage to assure that the school district's costs remain within the $1,500 limit. In the event that the school district's costs in support of the program reach the $1,500 limit, the program shall be required to pay a fee for use of the school district's facilities in accordance with the school district's facilities use policy, or discontinue its use of the school district facilities. Number 7, the town shall indemnify, hold harmless, and provide defense for the school district for any claims and damages which arise as a result of any occurrence involving a program activity to the extent that such claim or action is not due to the negligence of the school district. The town and the school district shall name the other party as an additional insured on their insurance liability policies to the extent necessary to provide liability coverage for claims or actions brought as a result of an occurrence involving a program activity. Number 8, this agreement shall be effective for a period of 1 year commencing September 1, 2013. That concludes the resolution. I need a motion to accept the resolution as read.
Motion.
Any questions on it?
No.
Second. All good, same. Okay, motion is by Howard, second by Dave. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, does the board have anything further? That's all we have on.
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody, 911, you should, need to have a 911 number at your address, your home. And the Youngsville Fire Department, it does that, okay, for a small fee of $15. And I have sheets of paper here with all the information you need and a phone number for a contact person, okay? You should have it on there. It could be a matter of life or death, a minute's time. okay? There's plenty of these around.
Right, and they are required by our code, so, correct? Greg?
That's correct, required by law.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Dave, that's a good reminder for everyone. Anybody else?
No.
No, okay. Just two things, joint workshop with the village was Friday night, May 31st. We had about 40 people attend, I think. Went as well as we could have hoped. A good attendance, I think. I think some positive things may come of it. It's a start. It's the first in my history on the board of having a joint workshop with our village. And I think it may be something we could do, you know, in the future, maybe on a somewhat regular basis. So we look forward to working with the officials of the village. But I think it was fairly well received. So we appreciate the attendance from our businesses and our residents. Just another note, in the Youngsville Water District, we talked with Kevin Klein today about hydrant flushing. Didn't give me an exact date yet, but we'll give some notice. We'll have notices posted in, you know, in the stores, in the post office, in Youngsville. So he may do it on, he may even do it on a Sunday. He wasn't sure. Maybe it would be less intrusive to some of the businesses, because it will stir up the water. But it usually complete it in a day, Jim, pretty much, unless they have a break or somewhere. But as soon as we get a notice or a date from them, we'll post our notices. But just so you know, we'll also post it on the website, so anybody in Youngsville will know their hydrants will be flushed. Okay. So if nothing further from the board, we'll open it up for public comment at this time. Yes, ma'am.
Nancy Lee, Callicoon Center. At this point, does the board have any plans that they would like to share with the public on carrying forth with the village and town alliance?
Other than, again, as I just stated, is possibly continuing some meeting. I have been in touch with the village. We talked about the problem that exists with our adult home with some of the residents. I have followed up with Aileen Gunther's office on that. The village has taken some action towards that. We're gonna work towards some resolve with that problem. And again, just, I think our businesses have the responsibilities as well. But yes, I think you'll see some further commitment and cooperation with both the village and the town.
This also could include any business in the town.
It isn't just the
Not
village.
just
That's-
Jeffersonville or,
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
Callicoon Center or any small business that's in the town, you know.
If any of you who have a business who weren't here, I think one of the most informative things that came out, that the IDA has low-cost loans of 2% for businesses, and I think they were up to $20,000.
I think up to 40, actually.
Up to 40?
I think so.
Okay, thank you for correcting me. And I think most people didn't know that the IDA has that kind of ability, because their big projects really kick in at $500,000. So most businesses in this town are probably not going to be able to take advantage of that. But the small loans, you know, it's open to any business. I don't know all the criteria, but certainly worth looking into if you need to borrow some money. 2% is pretty good rate.
I did speak with Alan Scott several days after the meeting, and he spoke here, and they're receptive to us, again, board member and myself, meeting with the IDA board and discussing just that because of the size that would, you know, I think $500,000 was correct, Howard. And we know our small businesses, that's not what they wanted to hear. So I think the IDA, at least Alan Scott had said they would be receptive to meeting with them, presenting some ideas, and possibly working towards something that's a little bit more favorable towards small business. So that's, you know, another, I think, positive outcome from that workshop. I think our sheriff was here and undersheriff and spoke very well on public safety and some of the issues in the village anyway. And again, this workshop wasn't just for the village, it was for the entire town. It just happened that the village lies within the town.
I did see a sheriff too in town a couple times, actually parked. So.
Yeah. yeah, hopefully, be more visible. We know that's what it takes to help thwart some of the, activities, so, okay. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, I'd just like to give you the references that I'm gonna talk about. My name is Linda Letrick, I'm from Chantilly, and you may know that I'm very interested in maintaining the high quality of groundwater we have in our 8 principal aquifers. And I just want to mention that as I recall, the way the writing is in the comprehensive plan is that it mentions that gas drilling might bring negative consequences to our principal aquifers. And I think it's important to bring you up to date on what the extreme practice of hydraulic fracturing in Pennsylvania has already done to water in Pennsylvania. And as a supplement to the published science that has become available in the past 3 years, tonight I'm bringing you some letters from the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, a series of 25 notifications from the DEP to homeowners has been made available over the period from 2008 to 2012. And it's a small set, but I'm gonna read 4 examples from it. Every single letter has this patented part of the letter in it. It says the department investigation indicates that gas well drilling has impacted your well supply. These letters are to each homeowner. Methane is the predominant component of natural gas. Federal water standard limitations have not been established for methane gas. The level of concern begins above 28 milligrams per liter of methane, which is referred to as the saturation level. At this level, under normal atmospheric pressure, the water cannot hold additional methane in solution. This may allow the gas to come out of the water and concentrate in the airspace of your home or your building. There is a physical danger of fire or explosion due to the migration of natural gas into water wells or through soils into dwellings where it could be ignited by sources that are present in most homes and buildings. Natural gas can also cause a threat of asphyxiation, although this is extremely rare. When the department is made aware of methane levels greater than 3 milligrams per liter, we notify the water supply owner of the hazards associated with methane in their water supply. Please be aware, however, that the methane levels can fluctuate. This means that even with a relatively low level of methane, you should be vigilant of changes in your water that could indicate an increase in methane concentration. It is the department's recommendation that all water wells should be equipped with a working vent. This will help alleviate the possibility of concentrating these gases in areas where ignition would pose a threat to life or property. Please note that it is not possible to completely eliminate the hazards of having natural gas in your water supply by simply venting your well. So the examples that I picked out and provided to Mr. Bowes, I'd like these to be included in the notebook that I have running
Right, I
in the
see that
town.
now. Mhm.
It's a notebook of science articles about fracking. And this is a supplement to the science. For example, one letter talks about the chemicals, the elements manganese and iron being in levels that exceed the standards. Another letter informs the homeowner that the drinking water there is exceeding the standards for barium, manganese, iron, and turbidity. It doesn't say this, but I know that barium is a natural occurring radioactive substance from deep in the earth that comes back up to the earth with frack waste. It is radioactive and it is considered a human carcinogen. It's also not good to have it going through the groundwater and getting into the crops and animals' supply either. And another letter tells the homeowner that they have exceeded the limits of iron, total dissolved solids, chlorides, and aluminum. And there's another letter that says that their methane is present in the concentration of 56 milligrams per liter in the water. And as we read before, Pennsylvania starts to notify homeowners if their level is 28 milligrams per liter. So this is a problem. Pennsylvania has been sending notifications to people since 2008, and it's something we should be aware of because the information that is in the town's plan doesn't reflect this updated information.
Okay, thank you. And I do see your note. I will review those, and it will be made available with the packet that you've already submitted.
Thank you.
Peter?
Peter Lorenzo, Callicoon Center. The general aid fund and the highway DB, what generates the fluctuations in the amount per month? Like, I
Some of them
noticed
were
this month it was,
Some of them were CDs that came due, Peter, that we had, and with a very low interest rate that's being paid right now, which is 0.1%. So the transfers are made occasionally as the CDs mature into the accounts that they are established for. So,
like, I think the DB was like 40,000
well,
last month.
yeah, but usually, I mean, you keep the lower amounts in there, and as we know, as we need, whatever material's being needed, it's either transferred out of the IMM or the CDs, which again are interest-bearing and very low interest, so. There's not really any difference from the IMM, correct, Joe?
No difference.
CDs, so. Thanks, Peter, good question. Anyone else? Yes, Ron?
Ron Bernhardt from Youngsville. I'm sure you all know what I'm here to speak about. I had wanted to speak after last month's business concluded, but was in semi-shock and disbelief at the reality of your adoption of the comprehensive plan, after trusting that you would be true to your word about allowing the committee to look at the language pertaining your welcoming fracking into our town. It got heated, rightfully so, and I felt uncomfortable, as probably everyone else did. It was an ugly, tense, emotional scene. How could it be otherwise? I was feeling anger, betrayal, like I was duped. From the start of my coming to meetings a year and a half ago, I felt strongly that your minds were made up. You wanted fracking, it was a done deal. But in announcing that you were going to let others at least have a voice on possible changes to this accident waiting to happen, well, it gave me a glimmer of hope. At least maybe real discussion would ensue and we could hear from each of you how you felt. It amused me how Mr. Bowes and one of his allies in the back were surprised that fracking drew this much of a response. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being most important, all of the issues that I've been hearing about at the meetings are in the below 5, mostly 1 or 2 range, as far as importance to my life. But the flooding issue is a solid 10 in my book, and the fracking issue is off the charts, exponentially. Both could have catastrophic consequences to my family and many others in the town. The odds are good that New York State lawmakers will give in to the industry influence and deep pockets, and we all know it's more than likely game over for those living downhill, especially along streams. These things this lady was talking about have been experienced in every state that has allowed fracking. Mr. Newberg was prophetic during the March meeting with his assertion that the fight was being fought on the wrong stage, with his advice that we should take it to Albany if we have strong concerns. I couldn't have disagreed with him more at the time, though I kept silent. I thought if this was truly democracy, our best chance to have our voices heard and maybe influence lawmakers would be right here in the town where I live, with people I know. I didn't know you were going to throw us a spitter, to use the baseball analogy. Not a good curve or even a knuckleball, but something that had the feel of violating the standard you proclaim of open governing. Of course, now that you've ruled in all of our best interests, the coast is clear. It's as much as a yes for fracking as any neutral decision, as I've heard its praises being sung. But you lack the courage to come out and say it. That decision, like Fremont's and Delaware's, would have been terribly hard for me to swallow, but I could at least give you credit for being open about what direction you wanted to pull our town. Did anyone suppose that if the state said no, if there was any chance you would then adopt a pro-fracking stance in defiance? So this was a no decision. But a no decision is still a decision, and the language that bothered the majority of people who come to the meetings looking for explanations backs up their concerns. It looks like you're rushing the process to all of us. By the way, I think the opponents have been very gracious considering the hand they've been dealt by your governing style, contrary to what the letters to the editor repeatedly claim. It seems to me that the constituents who matter most to you are the handful of well-connected and eager to collect, the so-called silent majority. Why are they so silent, I wonder? They push you to give them their way regardless of how this short-sighted, profit-driven business decision impacts the health, safety, and welfare of their neighbors. Might they one day, if or when their neighbors are ruined by their allegiance to the drilling dollars, want to say, not my fault, never would have done this if we saw this coming. They've been singing your praises and patting you on the back every chance they get, assuring you that you're doing a great job. Easy to do when you win the fight. I bet they're all greetings when you see them at the post office. By the way, you're not the only one getting dirty looks and overall bad vibes when you go to the post office or anywhere. I'll admit I've been hesitant to speak and vigilant about the dangers and negativity coming my way each and every time I've spoken. And tonight is no different. That comes with speaking your truth and sticking up for what you believe in and think is right. That said, I feel a moral obligation to remind you publicly that I feel you've governed irresponsibly. This plan is inviting a potential disaster without an emergency disaster relief plan. Of course, it's a win-win for all of you on the board who will personally benefit and your silent majority, but it's a lose-lose for myself and so many of your constituents who now sit in harm's way and have expressed our concerns, asked for your help, and basically been told to take our lumps about it, stop complaining, and live with it. It's no secret that there are simple steps that could have been taken which would have indicated at least a willingness to compromise. Even if you had no desire to allow real discussion about health, safety, and welfare, this was put through underhandedly. Considering others' viewpoints and acting on them looks like smoke and mirrors to me. You could say over and over that you were acting on behalf of all of us, but I choose to believe what I see, hear, and feel, rather than what you tell me to believe. I'm plenty scared. It's now up to Cuomo and some very suspect state-level officials. We've been seeing evidence of what makes those wheels turn in recent weeks, as if we needed a reminder. It's no secret that oil and gas lobbyists and big money backers don't get rebuffed very often, especially in our current times in this country. There's a fracking-friendly bill sneaking through the New York State Assembly right now that will threaten our safety even more. It exempts natural gas storage facilities from key rules that were put in place for our protection. It's numbered 4202/A. You can look it up. This has new urgency for me, knowing our town has basically said, if it's okay anywhere in the state, it's okay here. There's much more to discuss, but others probably have much to say as well. I'm not alone in my frustration about having no voice. I'd like to know why or how in good conscience you could have done this. Looking forward, number one, how can we turn this into revenue for the town and not just private landowners in the gas industry? Are assessments going to be refigured on property generating windfalls? Shouldn't this be discussed sooner rather than later? Any chance for anything like just compensation? Number two, because something was not in your comprehensive plan, does it mean it can't be put forth if and when we're blessed with our fracking? Be assured my peace of mind and comfort level that remaining in my home is an issue for me to deal with now. I'd be willing to bet you'd be having more than a few sleepless nights relative to this whole debacle if your shoes were on my feet. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else like to comment?
I
Yes,
just have a question. I saw the house
Stand up and
that,
identify
I'm
yourself.
sorry, my name is
Sorry.
Evelyn Tambalani. I live in Manhattan, but I owned a house in Callicoon, which I just sold. And there seemed to be the same problem over in Callicoon, which is Delaware County.
You're talking the hamlet of Callicoon. Is that, I just wanted.
The town of Callicoon in the township of Delaware.
That's the
okay.
hamlet of Callicoon.
And the same thing essentially happened, and that was the first town meeting I had ever gone to. And I was quite amazed. I assumed that there was a public discussion on fracking in general before what this gentleman just said. It seems to be the same situation that they had over there. It was that what do you call yourself, the town council? I mean, you know, I live in Manhattan, we don't have these kind of meetings. The town council did the same thing, they passed a resolution. And a lot of people really came at the next meeting after this resolution was taken, and they were really up in arms. And I was like amazed. Has there been a public discussion?
And there's been years of public discussion.
No,
If you'd
I-
like to discuss that, I'd gladly with you anytime after the meeting or another day, because you're certainly not informed of what this process has been over the last few years
I
of
think
getting.
I am informed, now I'm
Well,
informed.
okay.
But you didn't answer my question. Has there been a meeting? You said years ago. I'm talking about.
No, I'm sorry, but it's been several years in the making of we're talking adoption of a comprehensive plan. It isn't disallowing anything, and if you say you're informed about it, then you should know what the comprehensive plan is. Have you read it?
No, I haven't, because
Okay.
I'm just vacationing up
Okay,
there. This
all right,
is
no,
the first
that's-
time I've been in Jeffersonville.
I gladly answer your questions.
Okay, thank you.
I thought I saw another one. Oh, okay.
Nancy Lee again. I just want to say that I want to commend some people for having the courage to speak up. And I think as a New Yorker and as an American citizen, I just want to remind everybody that we do have the right to vote. And it's important that we elect the right people. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not,
Make a motion.
Second.
thank you very much. We're adjourned.
Yeah.